a clear difference between a first-time founder and a second-time founder, or someone who's building a company for the first time and after exiting. And just wanted you to expand on that for you and the people that you're bringing on stage. Like, what's the difference? How do you qualify those people, and what's the difference that they bring to the room, knowing that they're like legitimate, knowing that they're in their power?
Well, when I say that is the people that I bring to stages, they've built something. You know, they have the expertise, they have the skill, they have the track record to show this is what I've done. They have an audience, or they have a community, or they have a business that they've developed. I don't care if you've never been a speaker. If you're new to speaking, but you're not new to leading, you're not new to communicating, you're not new to getting a point across, and you're not new to relating to people in a way that shows that you understand where they are, or you have some tool that they can use to transform where they are. If you can show that, then the space is open for you. But if you haven't built anything, I don't care if you say, hey, I'm an entrepreneur, I've been in business this long, you know, and I made my, first million. Okay, how many times did you do that? You know, because nowadays you could go viral once and make $1 million off one product. You know, like that doesn't equate to skill.
So I've kind of like thought about paid ads as I could do it. Will I reach my ICP, ICA? Sure. Will I build a business? Possibly. I can manage all that. But then I get to a place where, let's say I'm spending $10,000 a month or $50,000 a month or $100,000 a month on ads, and I have a decent ROAS, but then it's like, well, I want to turn it off now. And I've been trying to build organic content in the meantime, but then I turn it off, maybe my ROAS got bad, and then my funnel's gone, right? And now the people in my program are evaporating and whatever, and I'm kind of like back to square one, but I spent all this money. And so my path has just been like, produce great organic content for authenticity, for getting that community. And I'm just curious what your take is. Like, do you think that paid ads are inauthentic?
No, I don't think paid ads. I mean, do restaurants, are they inauthentic by running commercials?
No,
or any other?
With product companies, I think it's fine. Software companies, I think it's fine. When it comes to personal branding, let me give you a little bit more. So one of the things that I saw, for example, a few years ago was like life coaches running ads. And then the part of the guy or gal's content, no names, was like, oh, I'm 22.
Yeah.
I'm 23.
Yeah.
I'm a millionaire, whatever. And you're like, okay. I mean, good for them, whatever. But then you have these ideas like, well, maybe that, people got burned in that program, or maybe the ad that you saw wasn't actually the thing that you were going to get, but you paid for it, So when it comes to personal branding and personal service, that's where I have like kind of this authenticity blocker with ads.
Yeah.
Not so much with product companies, but boop, quick commercial break. We're about to get into the juicy details. I just wanted to let you know, if you engage with my content, if you subscribe to my page, I look at every single one. And I'm here to serve, not to sell. I'm out here trying to help and teach people what's worked for me in scaling my agencies. Thanks for listening.
I don't necessarily think it's an authenticity problem as long as you're showing up in your ads with integrity, and with the expertise and with the skill. You see a lot of big names, who use ads all the time, and they have the skill, they have the expertise. They've put the 10,000 plus hours in to get to that point.
Yeah.
I think with a lot of people, there's kind of this, you're stepping into a competing market. That people have gotten burned, because of ads.
Right.
And so it's like, is it really worth it, or should I just focus on just getting to the people? Well, both ways are getting to the people. You just have to choose what feels most in alignment with you and your brand. You're Hypeman. So Hypeman, it's very connective. It's he wants to elevate you mentally, professionally, emotionally, soulfully. Like, he wants to bring that energy into your life.
He gets it.
And so you're going to feel that type of brand, that type of person more in person or direct contact than you would through an ad, because other people might look at it and say, oh, he just looks like everybody else. He sounds like everybody else. But then you're going to have people who are new. Maybe they're just beginning to seek, who are going to be like, I need him. Like, he's awesome. So you're just warring in a very information heavy space right now where everybody's being hit with ads. And unfortunately, that's just regardless of where you are or how authentic you are or are not, there's going to be a challenge there.
I love that. I love that take, and I appreciate your kind words also. Do you think it has an impact on a positive impact on like brand awareness, I guess? Do you think people that see ads for personal brand coaches or whatever, personal brand stuff, do they associate that with like, oh, well, if they're running ads, then they must be doing something right?
Yeah, I mean, the people who are reaching the most people are typically the people who look like they're actually doing something right. I mean, granted,
That's fair. That's fair.
you know, and so
Call Rafi. He's got to be doing something right.
He's everywhere, you know, and so it has its place. But what I tell a lot of my clients is, don't go market heavy in the beginning. Build relationships.
Yeah.
In the beginning, you know, until you get to a point where you're ready to scale big, you don't really need to do that.
Yeah.
Get on social media. It's all about engagement. That's the name of the game. Like, I don't just post. And I've really had to get better about this with launching new frameworks and stuff for my own brand.
Yeah.
You know, getting on there, because typically I would just post thoughts, wisdom to share. But now I'm really getting ready to grow, preparing for, you know, the conference here. And so now I'm going out and I'm looking for hashtags, like, for instance, identity, because I talk a lot about identity shift. And I'm finding posts that tie into identity, and then I'm looking in the comments, and I might spend 30 minutes to an hour just responding to people.
Yep.
This is specifically why I just created my new, whatever it is, it's a free giveaway. Check it out in my bio.
Which is a micro ad.
Yeah, so it's like the connection is already there.
It's free. And it's genuine.
Yeah, you know, and so it's like now
That's good.
I'm building the engagement. The algorithm sees me showing up on the ad, meaning I'm staying there. It sees me developing more stock within the ad or more presence within the ad. So it's naturally going to start drawing more people to me to keep me on the ad more. That's just the nature of social media. The algorithm wants to keep you there. So if I'm engaging, I'm liking, I'm sharing, not just posting my own stuff, which to the algorithm seems inauthentic, like you only care about yourself. It registers you that way.
Right.
But if I'm on there and I'm engaging, I'm sharing other content, I'm commenting on the content, I'm reaching out, connecting to people. And now when they come to my page, they're hearing things like, hey, if you're stuck in this place after I've said blah, 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 you know, type identity in the comments, boom. Now people are coming to look. If you're finding that people aren't looking at your stuff, it's because you're not engaging enough. You should have at least 30 minutes to an hour where that's all you focus on, or you have a team, if you're at that point, that focuses on using your account and going and doing those specific things.
I love that. Well, glad that we jumped into some tactical stuff. I wanted to thank you for coming out to Scottsdale today, coming out to the beautiful Optima.
Thanks for having me,
I love this building. It's so wonderful. You're such a powerful force, and I feel so grateful to be in your presence. And I appreciate you always pouring in and shining your light out on the world, no matter who's in front of you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that about you. So thank you for coming out today. You mentioned that you have an event coming up. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so a few things. One virtual event, the Master Reboot program, and it's 6 weeks, 9 a.m., starting May the 4th, every Monday, 9 a.m.
May the 4th be with you.
Yeah, May the 4th be with you.
I like that.
And so that's directly connected to really just helping people reset, because we live in a very noisy world. So whether you're a founder, you're a new entrepreneur, or maybe you're just someone who's ready to scale or change their life, but you've been so wrapped up in the roles and the positions and just life in and of itself, the Master Reboot is exactly what it says, a master reboot for your life. We dive deeply into where you are, where the noise is, how to navigate out of it, how to reconnect to your vision, how to get clear intuitively on your path, where you're going, and many other things. So that's coming up. That starts May the 4th.
Is it a workshop format, or what's the?
Yeah, it's a workshop format, just like a typical mentorship program.
Yeah.
And it's an hour to an hour and a half every Monday, starting at 9 a.m.
Okay,
for
cool.
6 weeks.
Sweet. Cool.
So full program. And then my big event for the year, I was having a retreat that my beautiful partner Sean and I were going to do. But I think, with Arizona Growth Con, that whole vision of developing this one big 3-day event is so big to me right now. I'm like, I might push the retreat back to the beginning of next year following that, and so kind of navigating between that now. But the big event is Arizona Growth Con 2026. And so I've had the domain, trademark, everything for probably 4 years now.
So you have 3 things.
Yeah.
Okay, virtual, the retreat, and then Arizona
Growth Con.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's Arizona Growth Con?
Arizona Growth Con is a 3-day conference/event, but it's where I bring in impactful speakers, people's leader. We focus on the 3 main characters, or not characters, but 3 main areas of personal professional development: health, wealth, relationships, but from a conscious route. not just from an informative route. So bringing in people who actually have done the work. Because one thing that I found in most events that you go to nowadays, everybody's hosting an event. People have event fatigue, and you have people who are now coming into this new space of entrepreneurship because we see what's happening in the world. We see how within the next 5 years, most jobs are going to require you to have some sort of entrepreneurial skill. And if you don't, it's going to be a struggle for you. But also relationships are evolving. The way that we see relationships, the way that we see wealth, we're seeing more millionaires than ever coming into the market, but they're not developing the identity to be able to understand how to handle that money, which leads to a loss of integrity in many areas. But the event in and of itself is focused on those 3 main areas: health, wealth, relationships, deep dive, but bringing in expert speakers. These are people that, you know, coming from where I came from, working with the speakers like Zig Ziglar and Dr. Wayne Dyer, and just the people that I've worked with, even in the space with Tony Robbins and whatnot. Back then in the early 2000s, you weren't getting on stage unless you had some type of expertise.
Right.
Like there was no, hey, I'm hosting an event, come on and check it out, but you haven't developed your voice yet, you haven't developed your cadence, there's no flow, you don't even know how to read your audience, so you lack the ability and the capacity to really be the thermostat in the room. Instead, you walk in, you're nervous, you don't know what you're gonna say, you're losing your words, you got a bunch of notes, you know, or everybody has a slideshow, which it leads to a place of disconnect within the audience. But for people who don't know the difference, they just don't know the difference.
Yeah, it's almost like some of it's turned into entertainment.
It's total entertainment.
Or infotainment or something, yeah. I don't know about you, I'm new to this arena, but one thing that I discovered was that it's common for people like me to pay to be on stage. And I might be naive, but the first time I heard that, I was just like, what? Why would I pay you to come to your stage? Like, I get the economics of it, but if you're not filling the room up with ticket sales and I'm having to offset your costs, it must not be a quality event.
Right.
I don't, and like I had this whole conversation with this guy, and I was just so confused about it. And I was like, I'm the talent here. I want to be the expert. And if I have reached a level of expertise, a level of mastery that qualifies me to be on your stage, then so be it. But if I haven't, then I'm not qualified to be on your stage, but I'm not going to exchange my qualification with money, with dinero, so that I can get in front of people who have also paid you to be there. Do they know that the speaker's paid to be on stage?
I actually had that experience recently. And
do they know that? I don't.
Those are my sentiments exactly.
Okay,
you know.
good. You agree.
Because I had an event, you know, I reached out, I guess it was about 2 months ago. You know, they said, hey, we're looking for another speaker. And I know the guy, you know, cool guy. I was like, I could definitely bring value to his audience. I was just seeing it as a way to serve and reach people. And, you know, so I reached out to him, hey, you know, if that spot's still available, I'd show up and I'd love to support you. I get a message back saying, this is, okay, you just got to pay X amount of dollars, like $400 and some dollars. And then you're going to get video, you're going to get content and this, that, and the other. And I messaged him back because it's like an insult to me.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I'm like, I could go to an event. I could hold an event by myself and speak for 6 hours straight.
Right.
That's the expense of what I've learned over the past 2.5 decades. And you're telling me for content, I got to pay you to be on your stage?
How dare you?
I would make your event.
Right.
Like, and that's not me being cocky. That's me understanding where the level of the event is versus what's coming in. And then you see the other speakers on the list. And they're great at saying elite speakers. And I'm like, it blows my mind. But no, like, I'm not paying to be on a stage. Like you said, we are the talent. Yeah. We are the experts. We know what we know. We know the value that we bring. And to ask us to invest to be on a stage is an insult, because what you're not allowing, or excuse me, what you're not acknowledging is the work that we've put in.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like spitting in our face. Now, if you're just beginning and you want to get your feet wet, I'd say if you're joining a speaker boot camp or a program like that, and they're going to host an event on the back end of that program,
sure.
That makes sense.
You're putting the work in.
But ultimately, because these people are too lazy, they have not built a reputation, developed a skill, and they're not known for hosting great events, they're charging the speakers to basically carry the weight of the event and walk away with some money in their pocket.
Yep.
That's what that communicates.
And you talked about having people on your stage who've done it before that are qualified. Something that I noticed in my world when I was building my first company is there was a clear difference between a first-time founder and a second-time founder, or someone who's building a company for the first time and after exiting. And just wanted you to expand on that for you and the people that you're bringing on stage. Like, what's the difference? How do you qualify those people, and what's the difference that they bring to the room, knowing that they're like legitimate, knowing that they're in their power?
Well, when I say that is the people that I bring to stages, they've built something. You know, they have the expertise, they have the skill, they have the track record to show this is what I've done. They have an audience, or they have a community, or they have a business that they've developed. I don't care if you've never been a speaker. If you're new to speaking, but you're not new to leading, you're not new to communicating, you're not new to getting a point across, and you're not new to relating to people in a way that shows that you understand where they are, or you have some tool that they can use to transform where they are. If you can show that, then the space is open for you. But if you haven't built anything, I don't care if you say, hey, I'm an entrepreneur, I've been in business this long, you know, and I made my, first million. Okay, how many times did you do that? You know, because nowadays you could go viral once and make $1 million off one product. You know, like that doesn't equate to skill.
And then for the people that you're inviting in for the audience, how big's the room? How many?
The room is going to be about 250. I'd say 150 to 250.
Okay.
For the first event.
Do you know where you're hosting it?
Not yet. That's to be determined within the next 2 months, because it's not until October.
Cool.
So it's going to be big, man, but I'll tell anybody this, like if you're out there and you're hosting events and you're in this space where you're saying, okay, I want to go to an event that's going to be impactful. I want to go to an event, or present an event rather, that's going to reach people, and you have this big vision. One thing that I used to run into when it came to events is the vision was so big that I felt like I needed to go big or go home, for the event. And so now what I had to really tell myself is I'm going to show up for whoever shows up. And I'd love for at least 100 people to be there, because this is going to be a new event. This is the first time we're hosting Arizona Growth Con.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact the content that we're going to get, and the behind the scenes and all that stuff that we're going to get is going to sell every event afterwards, because my time working with Tony and Dean, I met a lot of great speakers, met a lot of great people and professionals. So I know what I'm going to be able to bring to it. But it's going to be one of those things, man, where I know, because like you said, a lot of these events, the expertise or the skill is not there, and that's what people are hungry for. And sometimes, like, I'll probably give away some free tickets, because I believe that much in the product.
Of course.
It's like I want people to show up because, again, word of mouth is the best advertisement. If I get people in there, they're impacted, their lives are changed, because that's one thing leaving the event. Like, you're not going to leave the event with a notebook full of notes, and riding this dopamine high, because I'm not there to pump you up. I'm there to wake you up. You're going to leave with actionable steps and transformation.
Facts.
So,
Facts. Well, I can't wait to be there. Whether I'm on stage or in the audience, my presence will be felt. Yeah. That's all I have to say about that. And let's see. I think my other thought about that event was I want to know, between now and then, what else I can do to be helpful.
Main thing is word of mouth, just sharing it with people. If you know any people, I'm also looking for sponsors right now.
Okay.
To really, because the more sponsors I can get on the front end, I'm not worried about ticket sales. I want to be able to give tickets away, like I said. So the more sponsors I can get on the front end, the better.
Cool.
So any network or connections that you have, spreading the word.
Have you announced it already? Like on socials?
I haven't done one full announcement yet.
Okay.
We just finished dialing in
Let's
everything
get
on the back
dialed in
end.
on the timing, so that way when you start pushing, then I can do, I don't have a huge reach, but I definitely have a good network out here in Scottsdale. So for local people, and I have a good network out in SoCal, so I'd love to just contribute and help push it out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I did one post over the weekend, I believe. No, not the weekend, Tuesday.
Okay.
About the event, just a raw post.
You tell me when it's time.
Okay.
So because I've also found, like, sometimes when I have like a campaign or something I'm bigger that I'm trying to do, this is just me, I'll reach out to like 10 people that are friends of mine that are in some similar, lane. And then I'll say, okay, on this day or this week, I'm doing these things. If you could take the time to repost, reshare, ask some friends, send it, whatever. And then it kind of helps just in that moment expand the impact of the content instead of like you sending it and then a week later I send it and all that sort of stuff, So like really like blitz it.
Yeah.
I'm here for the blitz.
Okay.
Okay, I want to talk about AI. I want to talk about AI and connect it to a couple points, which I think are interesting. So you mentioned, you spend a lot of time working with people on identity. They could be new entrepreneurs. They could be corporate people, right? They come from all these different backgrounds. Most of them are probably adults, would be my guess. And then we have AI. And you mentioned a second ago that a lot of people aren't going to have jobs, or jobs are going to look a lot different. Everyone's going to need to be an entrepreneur. It's wild. It's just wild as we live and breathe right now what's happening. Absolutely crazy. And I want to connect it back to the youth.
Right.
Because I homeschool my kids, and they're 16 and 14 now. They did public school for a little while first, and then we homeschooled them. And homeschool's just been amazing. If anybody out there is thinking about homeschooling and you're thinking, I can't do it, or it's too hard, it's freaking worth it. It is so worth it. I don't see any other way to do it. I think public school for me and my family, my kids, and what I want them to achieve, public school just is not an option. And as I think about what's about to happen and the speed that education, public education, government, whatever, the speed that they're going to move at to incorporate and integrate all that stuff, it's just gonna, I don't know what's gonna happen, but like it's just gonna leave it in the dust.
Yeah.
So kind of thinking about like this identity work combined with AI and thinking about the youth, like do you see opportunities for new schools or opportunities a different way, even for us to like somehow contribute to educating young kids or teens about preparing for this identity? I mean, they haven't even formed one yet, and AI is just going to come in and be like, blammo, if you're graduating college from now for the next 10 years.
Good luck, buddy.
Whoops. Whoops, right?
And college isn't bad. It's great if you're going for the experience, and whatnot. But if you're solely relying on that for a job,
I'm going to disagree with you on that. I don't know if that's true anymore. For me, I think there is an experience there, but the way, how much it costs now, just feels like it used to be a great experience, but now, like, I mean, my daughter's looking at going to college in the fall, and it's just like, are you serious with these? Like, by the time you graduate, you're going to have $250,000, whatever. Like, you're already just in the hole, and by the time you graduate college, now AI's done whatever it's going to do. It just feels really, it feels like a difficult sell. In fact, I would expand that and just say the entire like education process from 3, 4, 5 on up to 18 is like, man, there's got to be a better way. I mean, there's going to have to be something.
Yeah, when the education system was put into place, what did John D. Rockefeller, I believe it was, say? We don't need more free thinkers. We don't need more business developers. We need workers.
Yeah.
So the education system was created to create workers, to work the systems, to work the industrial systems, and now, the systems of the world, basically becoming like batteries, like in the Matrix. We run the system runs off of us. But I think there is definite truth in really teaching people tangible skills, especially the youth, these tangible skills that are available to them in a dying system that's evolving, to show them, okay, you can show up. You don't have to wait to get to this point. You don't have to wait till you're in your 20s or 30s to be successful. You don't have to wait until you're old, to figure out what you want to do with your life. Let's start thinking about it now. And with AI, things have become so easy that you can navigate through things as a business owner and entrepreneur. Because prior to the Industrial Revolution and that age happening, which pushes us to where we are in the education system, people were entrepreneurs. You had Manifest Destiny. People are going all the way, like wherever they wanted to go, whatever vision they had, they were going to manifest it. That life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. They took control of their lives. And what we're seeing with a lot of youth, they're depressed. Even young adults, they're depressed. Mature adults, are very depressed because they don't have control of their lives anymore, as far as their ability to manifest what they want because they bought into this huge lie.
Yeah.
But I think with the advent of AI and where it's going now, the skills that the youth can develop can create a much stronger foundation faster than what we could when we were younger. And so I think it's doing our kids a disservice if we don't start teaching them how to utilize these tools and what's available Like I've been talking to my boys, they're talking about coming into entrepreneurship now. My one son's a barber now.
Let's go.
And so I've been talking to him about, AI, developing his brand, creating a brand scheme. You can have AI function as a virtual COO to map out your entire business model if you understand how to prompt it correctly. And I know you're deep in this now with Dan.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so, I definitely believe if it's identity is everything. What I know at the core of who I am is going to determine how I utilize information above that.
And so for the young kids, I just imagine like I'm trying to put myself back to that age, and you're a ninth grade, you're a senior, or whatever, and if all of a sudden it was like, oh, you could have the power to everything in your pocket, it's a little overwhelming.
It is.
And it's on top of kind of what you already mentioned, this compounding like loneliness or depression. We were flying out to Dallas, and I had this young lady, looked like a bright young lady, sit next to me on the plane, and we struck up a conversation, and she said something to me that was like, so it just like stopped me in my tracks. And she basically said, I'm a senior in college, and I'm about to graduate, and I'm scared. And I was like, what do you mean you're scared? And she's like, well, I don't have a job lined up. And I was like, okay. Talk me through that. And so she didn't have a job lined up, and her mom was giving her a lot of pressure about not having a job lined up. And here she was frantic and flailing and wondering if she should move back home or move somewhere new. She was at this like decision in the road. And I just thought, if I were in your shoes, I would be celebrating. I would be so fucking happy that my graduation was coming up. And she's like, what do you mean? Like you're at the opposite end of where I feel right now. Like, tell me more. And I was like, for the first time in your life as a human, apart from the first few years that you weren't really alive, like you weren't aware, you're going to have like control. Like you don't have somewhere to show up necessarily. If you choose entrepreneurship, you're going to be like for the first time free. Like you should be celebrating that. Like you're going to have the opportunity to go do what you want to do. And I brought it back to her decision about where to live. And I was like, well, if you think about your opportunity to learn and grow, if you go back to the place that you came from, what do you think is going to happen? You know what that container looks like already. The plant's only going to get so big in that pot. Or you go to a new city like you're thinking about, but you're scared of. What do you think is going to happen there? You're going to get uncomfortable. You're going to have to go out and find new connections and new relationships. You have to try new things. And hopefully you do that being an entrepreneur so you can actually make a living at the thing that you need to do anyway, which is meeting new people. And we just like went through this whole process. And by the end of it, she felt so much better. She was so appreciative. But for me, it just stuck with me like, man. And I even did a story on it on Instagram. I was like, look, if you're seeing this and you're out there and you're about to graduate college and you're scared and you're fearful of this moment that you've been working for 21, 2, 3, however long you've been working at, to finally have this moment and you're freaked out, like celebrate that shit.
Yeah.
Be excited that you're going to have your sovereignty and your control over what you do. And should you choose to go work for other people, hopefully it's only short term and for some experience. Should you choose the other path of entrepreneurship and get uncomfortable and build something and learn new things, there's no better time.
Yeah.
That was the sauce I put on at the end. I was like, do you realize not only of all the things I've said so far you shouldn't be fearful of, you have AI. Do you know what that means? Here you are entering the workforce at a time where you have any knowledge in your pocket. You can virtually do anything at the touch of a button. It's taking Google search to a whole new level, right? How could you possibly be scared? So just bringing that all back to like, I want to be encouraging the youth, and my teens are entrepreneurs. We homeschool, and it's been incredible. But it's like, man, I really want to get the word out of like, these are the paths, these are the skills, the tools. But then I also think about, I go back to that identity of like, man, I guess I would be a little bit uncertain. If I wasn't scared, I would still be very uncertain about what path do I go down.
Yeah.
I mean, I myself have already cooked up 10 new businesses. Do you know what I mean? Like, whoa, that's great. hey, Claude, what's one thing that no one else is thinking about that's totally obvious that I should do to make a lot of money without putting any money into it, and something that can be headless, that I don't even have to actually operate, that you could operate for me? Well, Hypeman Ken, here's 10 great ideas. Shit. I'm over here, we're doing this other stuff, but you're telling me, like, actually there's a pasture over here. If you just hop over the fence, if you just take a leap of faith, you can have this other version of existence. I mean, some of the stuff that I'm thinking about now, I'm like, man, it's like, it doesn't have to be the way that it's always been anymore. But I don't know if other people are getting that.
Yeah. Most people they don't see it, you know, and that's
right? I feel like I'm in a bubble.
I think there are those like you and those in the container of AI, you know, like Dan, like I look at his stuff, you know, and that's the one thing that I watch of his all the time is the stuff that he's saying about AI.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, this dude, like, he gives me new ideas all the time. And I'm like, this is crazy. But I'm also a very tech savvy person.
Yeah.
So getting into a lot of it, like getting on Claude the first day and working with it, I was like, oh, this is easy.
I feel the same way.
You know, it's like, I'm very tech savvy. I've always been really good with computers. And I used to develop websites. So coding and stuff like that, you know, makes sense to me. But most people, it's like a whole new world to them. It's like when we went from no internet to dial-up, you know, and now you're sitting there. Remember how exciting it was when we had dial-up, or at least I do when we had dial-up. You're sitting there waiting, and then when it finally connected, you were on.
Yeah, let's go.
AOL, MS.
Let's not date ourselves too much. Come on.
Yeah.
So, hot take. I've been recently comparing ChatGPT to MySpace or Napster.
MySpace was huge.
I mean, maybe not Napster,
was, yeah.
but Netscape. I mean, at least for me, it wasn't much more than 6 months ago when I really started using ChatGPT, I don't think. It hasn't been that long. And the reason I brought it up is because you mentioned Dan, and on our coaching call for April 1st, it was on April 1st, and so it's April Fool's joke, because he keeps talking about Claude. All this stuff's about Claude Cowork, Claude this. And so he got on, he's like, I'm really sorry, everybody. I'm really sorry. I was wrong, and you have to go back and use ChatGPT. And he played it for like 3 or 4 minutes, and everybody on the call, like the chat was blowing up, like, what? What is he talking about? He's been, like, he literally like made me convert from ChatGPT to Claude. He made me export it. He did all this stuff, and now he's saying go back, and he was wrong? How could this be true? And then he's like, just kidding, April Fool's. And I was like, oh my God.
And Claude in the beginning stages, man, seeing what it can do and how fast it's evolving is insane. I've literally started following like every Claude channel just to keep
and there's
up.
like a certification, I think now, or at least a training program, because my son, my 14-year-old, just got a job with a luxury home builder, and he's a creative guy, but the opportunity he found was with AI. And so now he's looking at Claude and doing all their training courses and stuff, because for the people who don't know, you use Claude Cowork, you just tell it what to do on your browser or your computer, and it'll do it for you. And it presents a plan, and it tells you what it's going to do. And it's generally like, you know, I'm learning there's stuff about malicious code out there, so don't have it just go run rampant on the internet. But trusted sites and sources, easy. You know, it's just crazy how fast it's evolving, and the impact that it's going to have on everything that we're doing. It's just wild.
Yeah, I mean, and for entrepreneurs, it's a no-brainer. You know, it simplifies so many different processes. Like I know you have, you know, what you've developed now, the CRM and everything.
Oh
like
my God,
that
the agentic CRM. Don't even get me started on Dispatch. You brought it up?
No, I want to hear. Okay. I want to hear more about it. I know you guys do too. If you're an entrepreneur.
So 2 things happened, and shout out to Martell Ventures and all that, and being in Dan's program, because he's definitely oriented me toward AI. He teaches a lot of great things, but AI is definitely one of them. So I have a marketing agency called Middleman. My wife and I have been building and scaling that company for the last 3 years. And what we did last month is we hired a CIMO, a Chief AI Marketing Officer, fractional. And I made up that phrase, by the way, in case anybody's wondering, they're ChatGPTing it or Clauding it, whatever. CIMO, Chief AI Marketing Officer, so creative director who understands marketing, but started to get really involved in AI. And I was talking to her and her other business venture that they were working on, and they just built an entire creative department that's all agentic, and it's all built in one. So she was showing me that, so I had her come into our marketing agency And the challenge I gave her, the remit, was like, if we're going to use AI, it has to be to generate more revenue or to improve profitability. And if you tell me that improving efficiency improves profitability, well, that's fine, but show it to me. It's not used for information. It is not used as a toy. It's not just for fun. It's not used instead of Google. If we're going to integrate it and pay for it and use it, it has to unlock these revenue or profit levers. So the first project I gave her was take our agency that spends 40 to 60 hours a month on copywriting for email and SMS, creative, stuff like that, and just like get that one big thing done and see if you can get it less than 10 hours. So if we could save 40 to 50 hours on copy, that would be incredible. Mm-hmm. Well, the early results show that not only were we able to reduce the work time, but the copy's better. Mm-hmm. Not only is it just like better, like the copy's better, it's informed. Why is it informed? Because we built a real-time intelligence integration with Klaviyo. So it's looking at the campaigns that are going out in real time. And anytime you reprompt it to generate a campaign, it's taking the latest analytics, A/B testing, engagement, segmentation, conversion, attribution, all the stuff. And it's like, oh, that didn't perform very well. Just kind of like content, right?
Yeah.
Oh, let's reshift that. Oh, that promotion didn't land. Shit, we got to run another one. Mm-hmm. Like it's augmenting in real time using the analytics. So the copy's better, it's more informed, and it's like real-time analytics. It's like absolutely wild. So that's what we're doing on the marketing agency side, and I'm working real hard to get content out about this. Like we already built a whole deck and all these things. I just want to start like sharing it with people. Like this is wild. It's like a brand brain built-in Notion with Claude that sits on top of it, and everything just churns. It's wild. And then with Dispatch, the AI CRM that breaks my mind more and more every day, it's going to make everybody look slow. That's what I said the other day. That's all I can, like there's too much to describe. It's just, I had dreamt about a CRM for a long time that would somehow understand your different channels. I didn't understand the word agentic when I was having these fever dreams, but I never really brought on a proper CRM because everyone I ever used, Salesforce, HubSpot, whatever the Microsoft CRM products were, Pipedrive, I've used all these different tools, and every time I'm like, I just don't like it. It's either overbuilt, too complicated, not intelligent, too much effort for the results. Like it always felt like too annoying for me. And then I get a call from Matt, shout out Matt at Martell Ventures, and he sets up a meeting. He goes through a couple of slides. He's in the middle of his presentation, and I was like, how much is this? And he's like, what do you mean? I have not even done yet. I'm like, you don't have to finish. What are we talking about? He takes me to the end, tells me the price, and it's like, here it is. And he's like, Ken, I'm so excited. I have to tell you, that's not really what I had planned today. Like I'm just like socializing with just two guys. It's Aaron and I. We're just doing this right now. It's going to be a couple weeks. And I was like, look, you built the future here. I need this thing. I want to onboard next week. Just take it. And so I'm customer one, which I didn't know like really truly until afterward.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, you're the first customer using this product. And I was like, lucky you. Lucky you that you've got a guy who understands what he's looking for, and he's going to provide you all this feedback. Yeah. So we already like implemented all these feature requests, but they're we're in Slack. Needs a search bar added. So this tool it takes email, calendar, call notes, Slack, Asana, Monday, Telegram, custom MCP servers, whatever you want to build, sits in a container, and it can access everything else like Claude, like ChatGPT. It has a GPT built in, so it can pull in emails from missing contacts, lead lists, whatever. They built it as a sales like CRM tool, and then it expanded out into like this EA, like agentic EA tool, where the role of an executive assistant, managing your inbox, managing your calendar, and doing a lot of your admin, automated. Like this tool will schedule meetings for you without you telling it. Like if you train it that these are qualified people, these are leads, these are whatever, these are the times that I'm available for those things, you say it once, it's 100% accurate. And it will schedule for you. And so anyway, it was wild because after we swiped and we got the onboarding date, and they did onboard us in a week, thank you, Matt, The dispatch, sorry. So it was on the call. The dispatch note taker was on the call for Matt. He had the note taker, and it automatically sent us an email, scheduling, payment link, all the details, everything. It was perfect. It was like exactly what was needed, and it already like did all the work right after the call.
That's insane.
And I keep thinking like, how could it? Like I was looking at, it has this like people directory thing, the CRM, and I was looking at a new contact that I had in there, the Kymo actually, for real, and it had a whole listing of this woman's new role. And I was like, I didn't even talk about it yet. Mm-hmm. Like I said that to one person, my wife in private, I'm pretty sure, maybe I told someone else. How did it even pick that up? But like all the information that it gets isn't too much and it's not too little. Mm-hmm. It's somehow Goldilocks. Like it's the right amount of information. And anyway, I can go on it for a while. It's got a people directory. Like if I'm having a meeting with you and I'm like, oh, I kind of forgot who Princeton is, which would never happen. But if I did, I click on your name, all the context, all of it, and I can query it right there. Hey, I was wondering this about Princeton. Mm-hmm. We had some calls and I kind of forgot. He mentioned this one thing as GrowthCon or something. Can you pull that up? And when you do pull it up, could you actually just email it to my assistant and buy one of those tickets and make sure this and that? Sent. I'm not even in the inbox. Like I wasn't in the inbox anyway because I have a great EA, but now I'm playing in there and it's so slick. You just tell it what to do. Mm-hmm. So people, and then it has meetings. So any meeting that you have has it's a proprietary note taker. It's built in, and you can click on a meeting and it has the real-time transcript if you're in the meeting, and then it has all the call notes and stuff. But then again, you can use the GPT. You could use the query to run stuff within that meeting. And if it's a meeting in the future, you click it and it has a full agentic context brief for what the meeting is. Here's who you're meeting with. Here's what you should talk about. Here's what you said last time that you haven't done, because I see all the shit that you did mm-hmm. and you didn't do these things. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to send 2 follow-ups. You didn't. So sort that out before the meeting. Like it just thinks for you and it's incredible.
What?
Yeah, so here's what I'm doing. I told them, I'm like, look, how many of these do you want to sell? And we landed on a number. And I was like, I'm committing to you. I'm going to sell all those for you. I will get all those installs done. Just with my network, delivered. So we're building some content. So I'm doing it in 3 orders. One, for all my active coaching clients, you know who you are today, I'm going to do like an internal demo access thing because it's literally just 2 guys and they can only handle so much. So I'm going to do all my clients first, then I'm going to do a community event, which I'll invite you to. And I'm just going to go online like a webinar, just show people the tool, have everyone's mind explode on the page, and then be like, cool, email me if you want to sign up, whatever. And then I'm going to start doing content. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how that's going to go yet. I'm not like an affiliate or anything, but I'm just like, look, this is going to help you. Like if you're an entrepreneur mm-hmm. and you mess around with some email and some meetings and stuff, like this tool, it's a non-negotiable. Like it's the only thing that you should use. Mm-hmm. And just last night, because they don't have a full app built yet, but they made it mobile responsive. So I added it to my phone as like a homepage thing, but it's like website hosted. And I've been using it and I'm like, oh man, like it's so dangerous. And the next evolution is like they built this console that sits on top of all this stuff that you used to mess around with. And I'm like, how much longer before that's the whole phone? Like a year? Can't be more than a year.
Yeah.
Like my forecast is apps won't exist. My forecast is that today apps and websites exist on top of code. And what AI is going to do, the impact that it's going to have on our personal devices, is that the apps are going to become the code. So there's going to be 2 layers of content underneath. Mm-hmm. And the UI is going to be the GPT, the console, the query. And you're just going to use that to access and do the things because it just knows. Hey, send those 3 pictures from that event last Saturday to my mom and just tell her that we had a really great time and I wanted to send these to her. Don't send her the one where I was a little, tipsy. I don't drink, by the way, but don't send her the one with my tongue out. And it's like, done. Like, wait, what?
We're
So-
getting into futuristic movie territory.
That's all I could think about when they showed it to me. I was like, I understand what you built, but I don't know if you understand that someone's building this for life. Like this is going to be the operating system, the new operating system. And I don't know what company is going to get there first, but once you figure out how to integrate all that, and your phone experience becomes you either talking or typing into it for stuff. Like how many times have you gone through your photos, right? And you're like, oh, where's that one thing?
Yeah.
And it kind of has a search thing, but it kind of doesn't. What if you could just be like, I want some pictures of, or bring up that one time, show me my happiest memories. Show me that one girlfriend I used to have a long time. Like whatever the thing is, and it's just like, here you go.
Yeah, we're getting there fast.
Oh, dude, I can't
I
wait.
wouldn't be surprised if it's already there. We just haven't seen the capacity because if we have access to what we have access to,
Oh, totally. 100%.
yeah, it's on another level.
So let's spin it one little degree. I wanted to talk about since we're in the space of content. One of the things that I haven't finished road mapping in my mind is what's the impact going to be on content creation? And I mean it more from like a volume standpoint, because I've lived long enough now where I've watched the internet get created. I watched social media get created. I watched Apple and the whole evolution of personal devices get created, and I wasn't tuned in. I mean, I did buy some Apple stock and had a couple things, but I wasn't like tuned into what's going to happen, how can I participate? And now that I'm here, I'm like, just the idea of any person being able to create any imaginable piece of content, pretty much, what's going to happen to content? It's going to flood, and then what's going to happen? What's the impact on live events too, right? But just in the content space, because I'm getting into that space now, like all the way. I'm all the way in. And I'm just like, man, there's just going to be so much content that gets produced.
I think it could go one of two ways, if not both. Number one, the human-to-human connection
100%,
is going to be shot.
Yeah.
You know, you can already go on Instagram if you're aware of how certain platforms are being used or tools are being used to generate AI, and you can tell there are whole characters and profiles that are nothing but AI.
Oh,
now,
totally.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's crazy to think about how much faster that's going to start happening, to where you're watching personal professional development content, but the person isn't even real. It hasn't even had the experiences. People are just putting in prompts saying, create this topic about this.
Totally.
You know, but the one thing that I will say, especially for someone like me, is I can't be duplicated.
Oh, 100%.
You can't like I've tried to use Hygen and different video, you know.
But it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, in a matter of time. I mean, because you got the deep fakes and stuff like that, and it'd be very easy to transition that technology into AI.
But I just mean like the competition, the content competition, because what I see is like there's a trust recession already started,
Right.
But it's going to get real bad, and so content's going to get diluted. So I think things like live events pop up. That makes more sense.
More people are going to start
more
wanting
about
to have that human contact.
But people are also still going to consume content. Like that's not going to change. You can't put that cat back in the bag, the rabbit back in the hat. So I'm trying to think about, and I don't know, I don't have the answer for this. So I'm just saying maybe it's something for us to think about is like, how do we anticipate what the impact of that's going to be? If anyone can write great copy, create great stuff, I mean, even have probably an AI bot pretend they're you, collect someone's credit card, sell by chat, do the whole thing, and it's like, you know, not real. Like, what's going to happen? Is it new platforms? Is it just live events? Like, the distribution model is going to get real diluted, and I'm thinking ahead of like, how's that going to change? How's it going to change what we do?
I mean, I think when it comes to me, because I've been thinking about this a lot lately as well, you know, because like you said, we're in a trust recession already. The more that rises, I think you're also going to see more people starting to disconnect from it, you know, especially those who are conscious, who are really paying attention. For the people who just want to consume, you know, they're going to continue to consume. But for those who are truly seeking, people are waking up every day looking for something new. And
so do you think maybe there'll be these like micro platforms then where there's these smaller communities then where, maybe instead of having, oh, remember back when we just had 4 social media apps on our phone and now because of AI, we're in 100, but like you don't really use the big ones anymore because they're just full of shit,
Yeah.
like literally. And like one of the things I've just been doing on my like little silly selfie videos is if I'm in the sun, there's like a shadow on my face or my body from the sun while I'm filming, and I used to like get it off, right? And now I'm like, nope, bring it in here. Let's get that shadow on me. Like AI is not going to intentionally put a shadow on it. I mean, maybe it would in that case, but like I just look for the opportunities to wear a wrinkled shirt, for example, when you're doing content, just to show like it's probably not AI, but I'm interested in that distribution part. If it's going to be, micro communities, and if there's any examples even too of like how this has affected other industries before. It's a different thing, but certainly some things like this have happened, for sure.
I think that you're dead on the mark when you talk about, the little things like the sun in your face, the shadows, wrinkled shirt, or even true authenticity without editing out the mistakes. I'm human. Like, look, this is, and throw more personality into it. That's something I had to think about because I'm very good at articulating things and breaking things down. But then I was like, okay, the thing that's going to set me apart now is the fact that like there's a whole different side of me that most people don't meet unless they get really close to me. And I'm a clown. Like I love joking around. I love, but I'm also very sarcastic. So finding ways to mix that into it to where it's like you see personality, which is something like AI can, we're getting there to where it could potentially duplicate it. But people who know me, they know me. And I believe I have enough content behind me. What I think it's going to affect more, or those who I think it's going to affect more, are those just getting started. But for those who've actually been doing it for a while, I have books, already written, bestseller, podcast, I have all this stuff to show like, look, I'm a real person. I've been doing this, but it's also going to give me more of a platform to address it, and finding creative ways to mention the disconnect as a result of AI and why showing up as a speaker, as a leader, as a coach in this season in your most authentic self, like, and understanding what that looks like for you is so important. There's a space for that, but I've also been thinking about an app. I won't name the name, but an app for organic relationship and not just because the algorithm as it is now is not the same as it was. It's changing all the time.
Social app, micro social media. I think you should do that.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Thanks so much for the conversation today.
Oh, thank you for having me, man.
This has been awesome.